All right, so in this video, we're going to talk about positive versus negative, okay? Now, this is where is it positive and where is it negative, all right? And it's dealing with where are your y's positive and where are your y's negative. Just like with increasing and decreasing, it was looking at where are your y's increasing, but on what domain, okay? So we know that everything above the x-axis, that is our positives. Okay, so everything up there is positive, all right? Now, below the x-axis, so anything down here or below, that's going to be negative, okay? So if you notice that this x-axis is kind of like our barrier. Okay, it's kind of like if you're up here, you're positive, but if you're down here, you're negative. So you're looking at, so with increasing and decreasing, it changed with your max and your mins. Your positive and negatives change with your x-intercepts. Okay, all right, so we got a couple graphs we're going to look at, and we're going to see what we can get. So we want to do the positive and negative intervals. And again, we're doing x values, and you'll be using parentheses. Okay. All right, here we go. So I want to do positive and negative intervals, okay? So what I do with this one, well, we'll just do it like we did increasing, decreasing. We'll read it like we read a book, left to right, okay? So same as increasing and decreasing, you start with negative infinity and you'll end on positive infinity. No matter where your graph's pointing, this will be negative infinity and this will be positive infinity because we're dealing with x values, not y values, okay? So we start from the left. So if you look, I'm negative, and bam, I stop. Because once you cross that line, you're positive. So right now, this purple line is negative. So I'm negative. So right here is negative. So I'm negative from negative infinity, and I stopped at what x value? We're going to say that's -1, okay? All right, change pen. So now I've already realized that I've switched to positive now. So now if you look, I'm now positive. So I'm positive, bam, I hit the line again. So this is positive right here, okay? And that's positive between -1 and we'll say 0.5. Okay? And once I hit that line, I'm negative again. So I'm negative. And I stop there. So this is all negative. So I do my union. And now I'm negative from 0.5, we'll say to 3.5. Okay? I hit the line. So I'm crossing back over into the positive. So now I'm positive all the way to positive infinity. So it'll be 3.5 to positive infinity. And again, you see how you pick up from where you left off. I left off at -1, I picked up at -1. Left off at 0.5, I picked up at 0.5. Left off at 3.5, I pick up at 3.5. Okay, there should be no gaps in your intervals. Okay, you shouldn't be skipping anything with this one. All right, okay, so let's do another one. Okay, let's bring it down. Let me click on it. Let's bring it down a little bit. Okay. All right, so number 2, here we go. So again, we're doing positive versus negative, okay? So, and again, you start with negative infinity and you end at positive infinity, no matter where your arrows are pointing, okay? Because see how I'm negative infinity over here and I'm positive infinity over here. So we're going to trace left to right. Well, this chunk right here, that's positive, okay? So I'm positive from negative infinity all the way to -3, okay? All right. So once you hit that line, you're switching. So now I've switched to negative, and I'm negative. Why did I choose blue on top of blue? I'm negative. Now look, I touched the line, but did I go positive? I didn't go positive. I'm still below that line. So I'm negative. Bam. Okay, so now I'm negative. So I'm negative from 3 to 5. Okay, And then I finally do cross that line. So sometimes you'll touch it and not cross it, but this one actually crossed it. So I crossed it, and now I'm positive again. So I'm positive from 5 to positive infinity. Okay? Let's do, so we're still doing positive and negative. Okay, and you still start with negative infinity, and you end at positive infinity. Okay? So left to right. And it looks like right here I'm negative. Let's get a color we can see. Being ridiculous. Let's start using some highlighters. Let's see. Here we go. All right. So if you look right here, I'm negative, right? So that's negative. So we put our little negative tab. That's negative from negative infinity, and it stops at -4. Okay. Then if you look, it switches. Okay, because now I'm above the line, and when you're above the line, you're positive. So now I'm positive right here. Okay, so now I'm positive. And I'm positive from -4 to -1. And then I switch again, and I'm negative again. So I'm negative right here. Okay, and I'm negative from -1 to 2. Okay, and then we switch one more time. And I'm positive. And that's going to be positive from -2, or 2, not -2, I'm sorry, 2 to positive infinity. Okay, let's do one more. All right, so this one, okay, so left to right, just like we've been doing. You start with negative infinity, we end at positive infinity, okay? So if you look, I'm highlighting. I'm positive. Did I cross that line? I didn't cross it, so I'm still positive. But bam, that's where I cross. So I'm positive from negative infinity all the way to 2. Now, once I cross that line, I'm getting into the negatives. So now I'm negative, okay? So I'm negative, 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 all right? And so that's negative from 2 to 3. And then I switch again, and I'm positive. And I'm positive from 3 to positive infinity. Okay, so now I'm going to make a video on how to help you with the delta math that you're going to do with this. Okay, some more. All right, now